Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to Make It Monday. Today is week 40 in my series on dynamic duos where I'm teaching you 2 projects using the same product. Remember that all the pictures of the projects are on my blog, so head over there and you can click on the photos to enlarge them for a better view. Isn't this cute? It's a little mini pouch to hold a favor just in time for the holidays. Let me show you how I created it. You're going to need your Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer or your Simply Scored tool because you're going to do some scoring and it's really easy. That's the best part. Now I'm going to confess that I've done this video several times and the score lines never show. So I'm going to walk you through the one that I have here. You're going to cut your Designer Series paper 4.5 by 6.5. If you have one of the Designer Series paper stacks, they are the perfect size for this. You don't even need to cut any paper. Just tear off a sheet and get ready to use it. Once you're done, you're going to go ahead and you're going to stick it in your cutter and you're going to score. And the very first score line is going to be at 1 inch. Then you're going to move it over to 1.5 and score. And then 2 and score. And then we're going to skip over to 4, 4.5, and 5. Real easy. Now I've written it out as I've done it so that you can see it a little bit more clearly. Once it's done, you're going to need to give it a flip, and then you're going to score at the 1/2 inch mark. And I'm looking here for the 1/2 inch mark, and then you're going to score. Now when you're finished, you're actually going to have paper down here as well. And these sections were the sections that I cut away. So you're just going to cut out the negative, and then I trimmed this center section on an angle so it'll be easier to fold. Trust me, when you make this, you're going to see exactly what I mean. I don't think any further instruction is needed. You can use a decorative edge or a border punch across the top if you'd like. I got the idea from LA Stamper. It's not my own, but I did come up with my own idea for this one. And I've used the All Is Calm Designer Series paper. As with all 3D projects, I highly recommend the bone folder. So once that area is cut away, you can go and you can score all those little creases. Now I've done that ahead of time just to save time on the video. The crease in the center is actually going to go up, which is what we call a mountain fold. So on the side view, it should look like a W. That's going to create what we call a gusset. This section is going to go up, and then all this gets attached at the bottom. Now I have tried everything for adhesive, including fast fuse, and nothing works. So you're going to definitely need sticky strip. So this tab is going to go up, and I'm going to gusset my sides. Now you're going to need another small piece right here so that it lays shut. We have the back. You're also going to need to put a little bit of snail adhesive in here. Probably would have been smart if I would have done that before I closed it. So don't do what I'm doing. And snail is fine up here. You just need the sticky strip at the bottom. So now we have a little pouch. Great for candy, great for small jewelry items, which of course you could close up. But let's talk about decorating it. I used a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and I like to use my scraps so that there's no waste. This paper is beautiful. I wish that you were here so you can actually see how it glistens. It's a specialty paper and worth every dime. I always recommend when you're going to do some heat embossing that you use your embossing buddy. I like to swipe this over my paper before I stamp with my ink. This anti-static bag will actually tell the powder only to stick where there is ink so that it doesn't stick in other places and give you little flecks. I'm also going to tell you there's 2 choices of ink. You can either use the Silver Encore, which is pigmented, or you can use the Versamark. I like using the silver because if I accidentally miss a spot, it's going to be well hidden because the color underneath is the same. So I'm going to use the Silver Encore for this today. And since the stamp is larger than the ink pad, I always recommend that you ink it face up. So we're going to give this a good tap and cover it with ink. And because it's a clear amount stamp, you have to love the fact that you're going to be able to see exactly where it's going to go. And push. I'm going to bring in my silver embossing powder. I like to work over a coffee filter so that I can take the excess and put it back in, and I am covering it generously. I know you're probably thinking, wow, but that's okay. Nothing's going to get wasted because I'm going to put that right back in the bottle through that coffee filter. Now, while I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and take it one step further, and I am going to stamp the words joy, and I'm also going to powder that as well. This way, when I head over to my heat tool, everything can be heat set at one time. Now look at, see, I didn't use my embossing buddy. Look what happened. Doesn't that make you mad? All right, so let's go back and try this again. Now I'm going to take this over to the heat tool and heat set it. It looks beautiful. I get asked a lot, how can you tell when it's done heat embossing? Well, when you hold the paper sideways, you'll see a distinct difference. When it's finished, it's going to look raised and foily. When it's not, it's going to look more like a powder. And that's going to be easy to see once you use your heat tool. We're going to use the star framelets for this. Third framelit from the inside. And this is going to go on my magnetic platform to cut this image out. We're going to push that to the back, and then we get our beautiful star image. Now, these words right here, I'm going to use the small oval punch. All right, so now we have our pieces to decorate. I used a couple dimensionals, and I put them just on one side of the star since I wanted it to hang off of my bag. Okay? Next, I have my words, joy, and I'm going to use another dimensional, sticking that here. Okay, now here comes the fun part. We're going to use these gorgeous vintage faceted buttons. And since it's a 3D project, don't be afraid to go bold if you want to. You certainly can do that. Blue dots are what's going to adhere it well. Put that right here. And then, of course, my very favorite, you got to have bling right here in the center. And then I did put a little tiny one right off here to the side of my joy. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Want to see the dynamic duo? It's this gorgeous card. It uses the exact same product. The stamp set is bright and beautiful. And I love the variation of sizes and the greetings. Really, really timeless. Another vintage faceted button, smaller rhinestone. Beautiful silver foil paper. That same designer paper that I created the little pouch from is here, just cut in banner tips. And I took that beautiful shimmery white cardstock and I ran it through the Stylish Stripes embossing folder and used it also as a background. Here my words have 2 rhinestones to create a little bit of a focal point. So there you have today's dynamic duos. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Make It Monday.